We told you there's some great talent coming to Winter Rendezvous. And to prove that, we're bringing you now Debby Holiday. Debbie, come on in.
Hi.
Hey, girl. So good to see you. Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am to see you perform this Thursday night down at in Stowe at the Winter Rendezvous at Alfie's Wild Ride. You performed last year in P-Town, but I didn't get to see you. So let's backtrack some. Tell me about how your career started.
Oh my God. Well, if I'm honest, I got to go all the way back to when my father wrote a very successful song called Put a Little Love in Your Heart. Jimmy Holiday wrote, think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand. So as young as 5 years old, my father was a very strict father, we'll say. And I remember walking by the piano humming something and he said, you flat. Uh-oh. So my training started very early and my mother was a concert pianist. So lots of music in the background. I tried to not follow in their footsteps. I took French in high school, grew up in Los Angeles and I took French, brain trust, and did ballet. And then I got my first guitar when I was 15 and nothing else mattered besides music. So started songwriting then. Was signed to a very lucrative rock and roll deal, very rock, lots of guitars in the early 2000s. And I ended up getting dropped, took that money, started my own dance label, and had my first #5 dance music hit in 2004. And it has been such an amazing journey. I have met so many amazing people and traveled all over the world. And I feel, I'm going to get all teary. I'm very grateful.
We're going to be seeing a Tina Turner tribute. Why Tina Turner?
To keep up my rock and roll, because I have 2 bands as well. I've got a band called the Queens and Kings of Rock, and now a 10-piece Tina Turner tribute band. I do this thing called the Ultimate Jam Night in Hollywood at the historic Whiskey A Go-Go. And they asked me to sing a Tina song, and it rolled off of my tongue and out of my body so easily. And it was so easy for me to do my version, my emulation of her, that someone said, you should probably do a tribute. I'm like, huh? A tribute? Because prior to that, I don't really do covers. I'll do some dance music covers, but I'm a songwriter, and I started singing a few of her songs and every single one was in my wheelhouse. And I'm like, well, okay, let's do this.
What was that first song that you sang?
The very first song, Proud Mary. Yeah. And we did the beginning, the beginning part was, every now and then we think you might like to hear something from us nice and easy. It's like, yes, all the sass completely goes with me. So, and there is no better in my opinion, diva to honor.
When did you start doing the Tina show?
Oh, wow. I guess it's been, let's see, I literally put my 10-piece band together and we had our first show, wait for it, February 2020. Good planning.
Oh, I know what happens in March.
Right? Sold out. We were on a roll. We had like 10 shows booked and then one by one, bye-bye. Like everyone,
What did you do during that year and a half of COVID countdown?
Oh, wow. I did a lot of songwriting. I did something called Debbie's Den right here from my studio. I missed singing and I missed connecting with people. So my boyfriend was able to, be obviously in my bubble. We were each other's bubble. And so I did shows from here and took requests. So I got to learn a bunch of new different artists. And, I'd never sung Lizzo. So I did some Lizzo. I did some Burt Bacharach. I did some show tunes. It was all over the place and so much fun. And it just kept my mind focused on music and still connecting with people. So, and I still do them. I do them once in a while for people who aren't in the area that I'm performing in, etc.
Tell me about the Tina tribute of the content. How do you prepare?
It's quite different when I'm by myself because it's much more focused on talking about Tina as well as the vocals, because there's so much about her that is interesting to me, the life she's led, the things she's overcome, and how her spirit, she just keeps going. And was on stage in her 70s kicking booty, in heels, looking fabulous. So the show is a lot about, first of all, I am not, I'm not an imitation. I'm not an impersonator.
Okay.
So I don't have my braids. I don't wear the wig because it's not an impersonation act. I do my very best to honor her spirit and her energy and what she gives on stage. And of course, doing my best to sound as much like her without being a bad copy.
Have you seen the Broadway show about Tina?
I haven't yet. I have not. I've heard wonderful things about it, but I haven't seen it.
Has Tina seen your show?
Oh man, that would be so fantastic if Tina had. I would be the happiest gal. I would just be doing this a lot. Thank you, ma'am. I don't believe she has.
Your 10-piece band. Oh my goodness, you have two bands playing. How often do you play out?
We just had a show November 12th. It was pretty insane because I wanted to do some footage for promo. I have 3 new booking agents and they all need promo. So we did 2 shows in one night. My Queens and Kings of Rock, which is David Bowie, Prince, of course, what am I thinking of? Janis Joplin, Fleetwood Mac, Heart, a lot of different artists. And we did that show first and then that was a 5-piece. And then we came back and doubled in size like a chia band and to 10 and did the Tina show in one night. And it was absolutely so much fun. I can't even, and my players, I'm so blessed. These are some amazing, literally rock star players. So I'm
Are you the only singer when you had your band?
I have 2 background singers. And my guitar player, Derek Day, who is in his own right, he's in a band called Classless Act, traveling the world. He sings like crazy, as well as my bass player. So yeah, there's a lot of voices, 5 voices on stage.
The show we're going to see at Stowe, that'll just be you with recorded music?
With tracks, yes. And one of them, or a few of them, are actually tracks I've recorded myself with my band. So that's really fun. Yeah.
Costumes. Are there any costume changes?
It's difficult when you're out there by yourself. I usually do costume changes. I headlined New Year's Eve in Key West just a few days ago. And it was so much fun. But since I was on like every 15 minutes for 3 hours, I had time to go back, change, come back, change. But when you're on by yourself, it's a little more difficult to be like, you guys, hang out. I'll be right back.
Talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back. Have some coffee. So
you're based in LA. That's where we're talking to you tonight. Have you been to Vermont in the winter?
I have never been to Vermont, period. I've been to everything around it, but never been to Vermont. I was looking through my, excuse me, still getting over this respiratory thing. I was looking through my clothing actually just yesterday and going, I think I might need to get some more gear. Of course, I'm going to be the gal when I'm not singing by the fire inside. I will not be skiing. I'm not that gal.
We'll hang out together.
Yes. Sit by the fire and drink hot toddies or whatever it is you drink by a fire.
What happens after you leave Stowe? What's your plans for the rest of this year?
It's kind of busy. Not too long after that, I'll be heading to Puerto Vallarta, where I go every single year. Spend about 3 weeks in Puerto Vallarta doing shows in Ajijic, Mexico, and in Puerto Vallarta, I have 2 shows at a wonderful place called Nacho Daddy, and 2 shows in Ahiheek, and so many friends there that this year, rather than doing like 6 to 8 shows, I'm doing 4 shows and going to spend more time with my friends and
Four
enjoy.
shows a week or 4 shows total?
4 shows total, 2 shows the same day in Ahiheek, and then 1 show February. I think it's come on calendar. I think it's February 24th and March 2nd.
Well, you'll have time to see some of the great drag shows that are down there this time of year as well.
Oh
So
my
please
God.
go.
Mama Tits, the dueling drag divas. I mean, these are my peeps. These are my friends
Yes.
and family. I love them so very much.
Yeah, Misconception has been on the Misconception has been on the show a
I mean,
couple of times.
come
You know
on.
her well. Yeah.
Yes,
How about this?
I actually won't. Half the time I don't get to go see my friends because I'm too
Right.
busy, resting or promoting or keeping my voice quiet. So yes, I will be seeing all of their shows.
What about the rest of the summer? What will you be doing?
I have quite a few shows lined up with my band, both the Queens of Rock and Tina Turner, all throughout the country. So it's going to be a very busy year.
Will you be back in Provincetown?
I think I'm going to skip Provincetown this year only because it sort of conflicted with some of my Tina full band dates. Yeah.
After
but I
this
love
year,
Provincetown.
what do you want to do? What's your next step? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
I just started a crowdfunder for my new record. I have not put out a record since 2017. It was a double album, just about killed me. 26 songs back in 2017. It was called Free to Be. I'm a big proponent of everyone knowing that they can be exactly who they were born as and who they feel they are and know they are. I've always gotten a little flack about doing heavy rock and roll and dance music. So half the record is hard rock and the other half is dance music because I support all art. I support people creating and being themselves. So I did that, and I swear I had to take a rest after that because it was a double album. So I have a new record coming out in June as well.
Debbie, thank you so much for talking to us. I can't wait to see you Thursday night at Alfie's Wild Ride, part of Winter Rendezvous 2023. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And you're a delightful, delightful person. So I can't wait to meet you.
All right. Bye-bye. What a nice person. I can't wait to see her in person, to meet her. Oh my goodness. That is going to be so cool.